Hello everyone, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another video for Vanguard Zero. The Shutdown arc continues with the character stories. This is the last story that I planned to do for today, but I've got time to do more tomorrow, and then on the last day of the game being around. Apparently there aren't many people playing the game anymore, which doesn't surprise me. But that basically means that I probably wouldn't be able to get Psyqualia even if I tried. And probably because there aren't enough opponents to actually help me get it. I guess it's a good idea that I just decided, to focus on Duel Links instead. Yes, I decided that was a better idea, and I have now confirmed that it was indeed a better idea. Trust me, I went into ranked earlier, there are plenty of duelists around. Meanwhile, in this game, they just fled ship. I'm one of the abnormalities. I'm one of the few here that still bother to care. Recruiting fighters? Yes, it was discussed but put on hold during the last meeting. The door is always open at United Sanctuary Branch to those seeking power. Wouldn't it be advisable to have an avenue where those with strong potential can display it? You're pretty persistent on this. What's the reason behind it? There's a request to write an article. It's from a Vanguard-related magazine, and they wish to do an article plus a tour. Humph, just ignore them. I'm sure they will move on to other things soon enough. I suppose that's true, but the United Sanctuary Branch is always on the lookout for strong fighters. If we can show that we support fighters who want to become stronger, wouldn't that help increase the number of members? Damn! You really know how to use that power of influence. You're very persuasive. Which, to be fair, is a skill he needs. Then I'll leave it up to you. Do whatever it takes. Except that the article this time highlights the branch manager, not anyone else. Yes, that is supposed to say branch manager, not whatever that is. It's just a simple typo. I don't do articles. I don't do articles either. I just destroy everyone by being one of the people that made up the concept of Too Long Didn't Read. Yes, Too Long Didn't Read. I just told my aunt I want to be a writer, and because that's true, but also I took the time to actually prove it with this super long text that ended up as a file. And then I'm like, I don't know if her phone can open that, though. And then I realized it pretty much is likely that it can. Or who wouldn't really bother with it. And that is terrifying, but also, I mean, it's good that I proved something, but that doesn't mean my aunt has time to read all of that right now, and she doesn't. In fact, I completely support responding later. That is, if she ever cares about doing that. She's busy right now. She's out of town, so I'm not expecting a response at this time. I'm not sure when I expect one, but it's definitely going to be days from now is what I expect. Now, she could be nicer than that and respond sometime tonight, which I doubt. I mean, it's starting to get dark outside. I think she's going to sleep soon. I'm not, though, because I'm not going to take Ibuki's advice. I mean, anyway. Yeah, Ibuki told me that I should sleep soon. And I mean, to be fair, soon isn't necessarily going to be... It's not going to be an all-nighter or anything like that. That would be stupid. I've got a therapy appointment tomorrow, but I will, in fact, just stay up a few more hours at the very least, just to make sure I don't stay up. I don't want to sleep too much. I think I had a migraine because of one recently. Because of what recently? I think I slept too much. Or maybe it was how I chose to brush my hair. I don't know. I was pretty rough with my hair because sometimes... guys, let's move on. I have heard from the magazine that they have published contents for the other branch managers. Yeah, but can't they let introverts be introverts? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm an introvert. I'm a severe introvert. Though, I don't think I'm as introverted as Kanzaki because I need more human contact compared to him. But, then again, I wonder how well I can defend that argument. I definitely wouldn't go to the mountains for months on end, or even years, considering Chrono had time to just come back 1 year later, I assume, or I don't know. Was it a year later? He was in high school, so maybe, but I'm not sure. Anyway, he was there for at least months. I'm gonna just say that right there. And, what else would I like to say? Why did I even bother mentioning that I was talking to my aunt to begin with? Oh, right, I'm trying to face my weaknesses. She hurt me recently, and I'd like to patch things up with her, so I'm not hurt anymore. And to do that, I have to be honest and upfront, and I have to be mature about it, ideally. I'm not sure if I sound mature when I responded to her, but I did my best. I also expressed concerns that maybe I wasn't doing that well at sounding mature about it. But, you know, when you don't interact with people often enough, you do eventually develop concerns. However, I am absolutely not as asocial as Kanzaki. I interact with people more than he does. I've got a therapist appointment, that's evidence, right? Well, not unless I can just show it on screen, but I'm not going to. I don't want anyone stalking me. I've already given too many stalkers that kind of potential. I don't want to make it too easy. I have heard from the magazine that they have published content for the other branch managers. If United Sanctuary Branch does not agree to the article, it will probably cause needless rumors to spread. As a result, suitable candidates for the United Sanctuary Branch could go to other branches. Very persuasive indeed. I know that I vent a lot on here. I know that may be one of the downsides to watching my content. But, I mean, that doesn't mean I have ill intent. And just because I'm going to vent about you doesn't mean I hate your guts or I want you to suffer. It also doesn't mean I don't value what we've had in the past. Like, sure, I may have vented about my aunt, but that doesn't mean I don't still care about her and wanting to have some sort of connection with her. To me, she's family, and I don't know how much longer she'll be alive. Yeah, there is that. Yes, I'm back to discussing death. Now, I know this may seem like... I'm just trying to say that there's an update here. I just think that sometimes I give the wrong impression, and I give people the wrong idea. Considering what Ibuki just said, I think I'd like to move on. Causing people who should be here to bring their resources to other branches, huh? That cannot be tolerated. To be honest, I definitely... There's a reason this is one of my favorite character stories and it's so memorable. Sometimes Kanzaki really is just a mood. Like, if I was, like, not interacting with anyone for months, and suddenly they brought food that I really like, I too would be like, you can stay, what do you want? Do the bare minimum in order to reach the goal. I mean, he's not the branch manager. I'm pretty sure everyone knows the actual branch manager. All the branch managers have it on file. Noted. However, we will put a stop to it if we feel that they have crossed the line. Let them know that as well. Sure. It's a proposal directly from headquarters, but I don't believe it will be effective at all. This is one of the ones that I think will be very long because of me. I think I've gotten past the worst of it though, since I really do care more than I let on at times, and even if I say I don't care, that doesn't mean I actually don't. Sometimes I actually still do care. I may sound like, well, whatever, but every now and then, trust me, I've got feelings. Thank you for the permission to write up the article, Branch Manager Kanzaki. I do not have time for pleasantries. Just get on with the interview. Oh, I was just dropping by to thank you today. The actual interview will be conducted tomorrow. Really? Then just leave once you are done. Sure, but before that, just one more thing. Could I take a few photos for the article while I'm here? But the actual interview is tomorrow? Can't you even remember what you said a few seconds? Yes, the formal interview is indeed tomorrow. I thought you might be busy, so it would be a good idea to get that out of the way first. I'll just take a few more shots for good measure. How long is this going to take? Just a little while longer. It's annoying to have you hovering around. Branch Manager Kanzaki, could you look this way, please? Why? It makes for a better picture that way. Wouldn't a front profile be enough? It's not an ID photo. Oh, right. How about trying out different poses, too? What? Maybe have you seated or even tying up your hair? I refuse. I don't see a need for that. I don't know. Even though the joke may not be funny to anyone else, I still wonder how often Kanzaki brushes his hair. I know the joke may not be funny to anyone else, but still. He doesn't spend a lot of time around other people. How often does he care about brushing his hair? But, I mean, it is long, and I do understand it is a pain in the ass having to maintain your hair all the time when it's that length. But I think even my hair is longer than his at this point, and he's taller than me. I refuse. I don't see a need for that. And maybe just a little? No way! Well, that's sure interesting, isn't it? And now you guys might wonder why I liked Rin Hashima's story so much, and I'm just like, to that, I would just like to refer you to the title of the final part of that story. Fan service. No, not what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking. You see, the genders are reversed this time. Kind of. I mean, if I wanted to get fan service from anyone, I think I'd probably just go to 4 instead. But, I mean, right now, that doesn't really matter, does it? Yes, I prefer to go to 4 compared to Rin. Why? Well, because, I think he likes his fans more than Rin does, just saying. Good morning, Branch Manager Kanzaki. We'll proceed with the interview today, so please bear with us. Well, let's start, shall we? What did you have for breakfast this morning? What kind of question is that? Breakfast? Is there any meaning behind that question? Is this entire... I mean, I know I've already read this. That's why I can just pick this, because I know I liked it. But I'm just like, should I really say that I relate to Kanzaki this much? Well, I use the same clan. I do. We're moving on. The main theme for this interview is to find the secrets to the power behind the charismatic branch manager, Kanzaki. It is not cereal. I mean, it is not breakfast, anything. This should help us get to the bottom of that mystery. No, it's not what he's eating. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't eat breakfast cereal. There's no direct link between breakfast and my power. Honestly, of course there wouldn't be. That may be true, but I believe your fans would like to find out nonetheless. Fans? A person after true power should know and consume all the nutrients that is required. That is all there is to it. So basically, eat healthy. Eat plenty of greens. Do not slack off on the greens. Do not eat too many sweets. Do not eat too much bread. Don't go for too much starches. That's not good for you. Is that so? I'm sure your fans would just like to know everything they can about you. That is intrusive. That is a violation of privacy. Although I would definitely answer these questions without being bothered by that. But taking pictures of me, yeah, that would get on my nerves after a while. Even if it is professional photos. Now these questions, I'd answer them with no hesitation. But my breakfast? I don't think that I would, I don't think I'd say what I actually had for breakfast. Because I usually skip that meal. I'm not a morning person. Although I'm probably getting up in the morning for reasons unrelated to the fact that I am not a morning person. I am getting up in the morning because I care about this game. I know it's about to die, but let me have as much fun with it while I still can. Enough! I do not need any fans. A person after true power would not be happy that their breakfast or other private details are known to others. Well, okay. Sure, that's definitely one way of looking at it. I think you're just a very private person, which can be reflected by the fact you went to the mountains after this arc. You went straight to the mountains after this season, so, yeah. I think he's mixing in some of his opinions into this. Not necessarily what it actually means to have true power, but, you know, who am I to judge? I agree with him to some extent. I'm sure that's not the case. Worst case scenario, useless questions will be barred. But wait, then the interview will be kinda useless. It's not my problem to deal with. If you have any complaints, this matter will end right there. Didn't Ibuki brief you about it? Yes, he did. Is that a horse over there? That's my horse. Having a horse at the United Sanctuary branch. That's a surprise. He likes horses. What's the big deal? A lot of people like horses. It's not weird. Is that so? I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not. It's common for people to love horses. Oh, no, most people will be surprised. So, your hobby includes riding horses? I wouldn't call it a hobby. Oh, how would you put it? He is just training along with me. Ah, so that's it. And what would be the horse's name? Ugh. Let's stop talking about the horse. Please, I cannot pronounce his horse's names. Oh, come on, don't say that. Please tell me more. No. I have said all I wanted to on this subject. No, I'm sure there are more details here. For example, when did you start riding horses? Ugh. Japanese society is very reserved. They don't like for details like this to be exposed, and they're just people that want to preserve their privacy. Do I understand enough about Japanese society to understand that this might come across as rather pushy and intrusive? I mean, some people just, obviously you want to keep a good public image when you're in Japan, but there's a difference between that and someone's pushing too hard. Although I don't think many people in Japan are like Kanzaki, to be honest. Persistent, aren't you? But this is such an interesting angle. Do you travel on horses on usual days too? No one does that. You're right. And about your favorite horse. Isn't that article about Vanguard and the United Sanctuary branch? To be honest, most people already know how strong you are at the game. So more private matters would be pack up your stuff and leave immediately. Boring questions are barred. There's nothing else you can say about it. Ibuki. Koji Ibuki. Here. Shouldn't you be doing the interview at this time? I got rid of him. Guess I was right there. I can't call that an interview. It feels more like gossip magazine questions. Talk of breakfast and horde riding won't gather new fighters. Talk of breakfast? Let them know that the interview is off the table. Sure, I'll send the rejection to the reporter and the magazine. Should I just change to another proposal? But we must come up with something to increase the number of fighters. Is there anything else? No. By the way, what did you have for breakfast? Oh my god, Ibuki. Get out now! Oh my god. I can't believe Ibuki of all people was just like, by the way, I am curious, what did you have for breakfast? And Kanzaki is just done. Okay guys, that's going to wrap things up for this video. In the next video, I wonder if I can fit the rest of the episodes into the next part. I'm not sure, we'll find out, but it's definitely my fault if I have to make a third video.